If you look at the fractal, types and shadows, and you know, types, shadows, and antitypes used to be a big theological discussion. I don't know why people are not talking about it these days, but that solves all mysteries right there. So if you look at the fractal types and shadows, the micro and the macro, you see and know all things. When you look at Adam and Eve, Eve is a piece cut off from the side of Adam, IDE. She's being integrated, SIDE. She's being integrated back into source. Man is a piece cut off. Mankind is being integrated back into God, men or women. And so every time you look at the micro fractal, it's little pieces. But then as you rise up to the macro fractal, it's multidimensional types and shadows. And so you take the types and shadows at the lowest point, you take and move them up. That's why they call a woman shorty. She's like a mirror image of the man. She's got a head, she's got a body, but she's got the receiving parts. She's a receiver. The man is the initiator. You got the when you go down to the hardware store, you got the male and the female. Right? Otherwise, the parts wouldn't connect together. Everything connects with the male and the female. Plumbing pipes, you go to Home Depot, you get male and female adapters. Electrical, you get male and female adapters. One receives and one initiates. The system is upside down. It's called the Jezebel system. But if you went to the hardware store, it wouldn't work. Logically, it wouldn't work. You couldn't run your plumbing pipe. So you can actually see it. Like there's some pipe right there. I don't know what kind of pipe that is. What's it? Sprinkler pipe. But it's got the threads, and that's why it's called screw. You screw the fitting onto the pipe. It's a screw. That's why the slang for making a baby is the word screw. Even the base nature conversation points to the types and shadows. You can't escape it. The low-level conversations even teach types and shadows. I forgot what it's called, but you got is it the Latin? You got the vulgar language, and then you got the common man language, and then you got the higher level language. And that's what this whole thing's about. But even the vulgar part, even the vulgar language points to the types and shadows of Christ and His church. Christ and His church is spiritual. It's not even have anything to do with the flesh, but the flesh is just an image that we can understand in the natural, but it points to a deep spiritual truth. So when you're trying to see the deep spiritual truths, you take the natural realm and you look for the types and shadows, the vulgar realm, to see the holy realm, the whole E. The vulgar realm is V, cut UL, Underwriters Laboratories. It's like this is a laboratory down here. G is Golgotha, it's finished. So on the left hand side is you got the VUL, the vulgar, through the G. AR is ER, which is HEIR, joint heirs. So you have to go from the vulgar, the flesh mind, through the cross to get into the spirit mind. And the spirit mind is so high and lifted up, it can understand the vulgar, but it knows it's just a small glimpse into what's real. It's like a fractal. Like I say, when you're down here at the vulgar level, it's just vulgar talk. Then you go to the next level and you start to add more data points and more type shadows. You go to the next level and you start to see things the way they really are. And you just keep getting deeper and deeper. And so every dimension, you can look at something. Like you can look at that car and from the vulgar perspective, that's just it says Ram Pro Master City. That's just a name of a truck. No, the next level is a logo. It's a logos, a logo. And then you look at another level, it's black, white, and red right there. And then you go another level and you say Ram, the ram caught in the thicket. Points back to Jesus. The ram caught in the thicket, the sacrifice, Genesis, the book of Genesis. Look it up, the ram caught in the thicket. And then you take it to another level and you say, oh, all these cars that are made like that, they're just copies in series. In series after what? A pattern. What is the pattern? Pa, T, turn. And so as you go up from the vulgar to the spiritual, you start to see, oh, there's patterns everywhere. Look at all those trucks in a pattern. Look at all these cars. Look at all these trees in a pattern, the leaves. And so it's all about the Pa. When you see Jesus, you see the Godhead bodily. So Jesus is the image of the Godhead bodily. So the Pa made copies through Jesus. So it's a copy machine. It's a fractal, holographic, projected copy machine. And the 3D can only understand the 3D, can't understand the 5D till you get the 5D spirit and the Holy Spirit starts to teach you. But you have to compare line upon line.